love it.
At the end of your life, you're not going to look back and be like, oh, you know what? I want to see that Charmin Ultra ad one more time. I want to see those bears wipe their booties. No. Welcome to Stuff That We Like / Enjoy. At least at this point in time, I almost forgot the name of our podcast.
It's been a whole 2 weeks.
It's been a whole 2 weeks. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Christina.
And we missed a week.
Yes, we broke our 70-week streak.
Yeah.
Or 60, I don't know. It's
close to 70.
Yeah, close to 70 episodes weekly. And we could not do it last week.
We couldn't do it. It's just between work.
Overwhelmed.
Sickness,
painted our cabinets.
Post ultra marathon.
Barely moving.
Mm-hmm. And we were like, it's not happening.
Just we called it.
Yeah, we called it. And but I think we did great.
Yep.
For how long we held on.
Yep.
I think it was awesome.
All right, here's to another 60-some weeks.
Here's to another one. Yeah, maybe we can beat the streak from
Probably
last
not.
time. I mean, we'll see, right?
Maybe. But honestly, I feel like we're in like the busiest season of our lives.
Right. I think it's going to calm down though,
Yeah.
because I just shot my second to last wedding of the year, and work's starting to look like it's going to calm down in the future. And so, as long as and you're going to graduate soon.
Yes, I'm finishing up I will be a college graduate with my bachelor's in business in 5 weeks.
Yeah.
So that's exciting. I wrote a whole bunch of papers on HR management today. I've decided I don't want to go into HR. That might be due to the pressure of the assignments rather than the actual work. But as of right now, I've crossed that off my list.
Yeah, that'll really help you determine whether you want to be that or not. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, but after all that, it'll probably calm down a little bit. And so we'll just get back on a schedule and beat this last streak. Yeah,
we're working on repainting our cabinets that we started the first week of September. It is now mid-ish November, and our goal is by Christmas.
By Christmas,
they will be done.
We will have new cabinets.
I'll be a college graduate, and our cabinets will be refinished.
Yes.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Funny story, too. It was like we started painting the cabinets, and we thought it would take
5 days.
5 days, but we also thought we had a little bit of time the next week because I wasn't going to be starting work for a little bit, and they wanted me to start early, and so everything was thrown off. Everything was screwed up. And then I think it was last week we painted them.
Yeah, it was one of our first Saturdays. We didn't technically have something in months.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so we taped up the entire kitchen. It looked like we were about to commit a crime.
Looked like Dexter or something like that. Yeah.
Yeah. And then we painted it, and it looks awesome. Kind of the same color as your coat for people that are watching.
Yeah. Just got to do the doors now and reinstall everything.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So we're getting there. Life's going to calm down.
I'll just say that's why we were not here last week.
Yeah.
So my grandma did ask. She's like, really? Did you not put an episode out? I'm like, no. So she's obviously a loyal listener.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah.
Shout out to AMAM. Thank you, AMAM. All right.
Cool. All right. Today I'm going to ask you, what is something you like / enjoy?
So something I'm very interested in, and I might like / enjoy, is the topic of what are seminars?
What are seminars?
And where did they come from?
That is so random.
Right? I think you're going to like this one.
Yeah.
I think immediately from look in your eyes, you're going to like this one.
I don't like seminars, but I'm interested in the topic.
I knew it. Okay. So in your words, what do you think a seminar is? No wrong answers.
Okay. I think a seminar is a type of, it's semi-educational based, but it would be like you go to a seminar where it's multiple meetings over a day or two, kind of like a conference, but more on a topic that the person already knows about. And then you're talking more in depth, maybe with panelists or experts.
Yeah, that's super close to what seminars are today.
All right.
Now, how seminars started is a little bit different, but we'll start with the definition. A seminar is defined as a conference or other meeting for discussion or training.
A conference for training.
Yeah. Discussion or training. So a little bit of the history of seminars. First, the word seminar comes from the Latin seminarium, meaning seed plot.
Oh.
So a place where ideas are planted and grown. Hence the discussions that happen at a seminar.
Okay. Huh.
Yeah.
Rather than, so the discussion part, rather than just like the teaching kind of
Yes,
thing. All right.
exactly. So seminars originated in European universities in the 19th century, designed for small discussion-based learning, not lectures. So it used to be you just go and you have discussions.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody stands up and talks for long periods of time, and then you have a recess where you go eat lunch and come back and listen to the same person.
Right.
It was just talking to each other. It was just trying to come up with new ideas around a topic.
Okay, so it's like a scheduled discussion
Mm-hmm.
type of a thing.
Yeah.
Cool.
So professors and students would gather to debate, analyze, and explore ideas together, more like a conversation than presentation. So by the mid-20th century, though, the concept spread beyond academia. So a lot of motivational speakers, business leaders, and self-help gurus began using the seminar format to inspire and educate the masses, leading to events like Tony Robbins' massive conventions today. So it stopped being discussions.
Okay.
And it started being motivational speaking, business leaders a lot. And they pointed out Tony Robbins, which I would call a self-help guru.
Yeah.
People just standing up and trying to convey something to you for hours upon hours became the new standard of a seminar. Whereas it used to be get together with people
Smaller group.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you try to come up with new ideas or debate one another.
Yeah.
So a couple facts about seminars. The global self-improvement industry, which includes seminars, online courses, and events. So they're saying seminars are self-improvement, a self-improvement industry, is worth over $40 billion today.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I didn't look up how much Tony Robbins gets paid to speak, but his events are bonkers.
They make so much money.
Yeah.
Just to attend, I watched one of his documentaries, and he might only have one. And just to attend the seminar is several $1,000s. And there's like add-ons and stuff. And he like sells out and has, 1,000 people at these seminars. I'm like, he's making 100, 200K at least.
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh, for sure.
And he'll do like 100 seminars, maybe not a year, but yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, he makes a lot of money doing what he does. And he's helped a lot of people.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know really what he does. I watched the documentary as well. It was inspiring. I like to see that he was trying to help people.
Mm-hmm.
I may not understand
He's like, break up
how
with your
he does
boyfriend
it.
now. He's holding you back.
Yeah,
Call him now. Lots
yeah.
of peer pressure.
I don't know. I don't know if that's the greatest way to do it, but
Mm-hmm.
I hope he's helping people in a good way. I just don't know enough about it. But this next point could be attributed, or this next fact could be attributed to his seminars as well. So many modern seminars are designed less for dialogue and more for emotional engagement. So what some sociologists call manufactured inspiration. Now, if I'm remembering correctly, Tony Robbins wants you to get, in his words, into a heightened state
Yes.
before you start learning his curriculum. It's supposed to be something about your emotions in a heightened state, help you retain information better than if you weren't in a heightened state.
Kind of wakes you up.
Yes, in a way, but also like whenever you remember information from a Tony Robbins event, your body also remembers the happy state it was in.
Right.
Which makes you want to dive deeper into whatever you were learning at that point.
Interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. Well, I
So-
mean, if you're going to go to a seminar, I'm sure a Tony Robbins seminar would be much more interesting than others, because I think of like seminars as being pretty dull.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I'd rather go to like a, I don't know, more like somebody I know who has accomplished something I want to accomplish. I don't know exactly what I'm talking about
Like
right
a
now.
master class.
Yeah, a
or-
master class. I'd rather attend a master class
I'd rather
than I would a
learn,
seminar.
be taught something or a conference rather than like somebody pump me up or inspire me.
Yeah, because in a way, I feel like seminars don't really exist anymore. I feel like they're all conferences.
Yeah. It'd be interesting to dive into, the distinctions. I'm sure people call them both things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
At this point, I don't know if there is a huge distinction, because seminars are listening to one person, as are conferences, or multiple people coming to speak. But I don't know if they differentiate anymore. I think they might be the same thing.
Yeah, because I've like attended conferences that have like breakout rooms or the seminar rooms, and it's like I feel like they're kind of the same.
Yeah, sometimes you go and like discuss in groups for a couple minutes, but it's usually just another room to listen to one person talk to you.
Yeah. Huh. I'm thinking out at a place I used to work, there was one room in the building that was called the seminar room where we'd have meetings. It was it had a big old conference table, and we used it, I think, for like discussions. So in the traditional sense of the word, a seminar, we met together to like brainstorm.
There you go.
Huh. Seminar room. Never thought of that. I'm just like, oh, which room are we meeting in? The seminar room.
Exactly. And a seminar room to me, without being educated as to what a seminar was, always reminded me of like sitting and listening to somebody, because I didn't know what that was. But when you're talking about what that room was used for,
discussions.
Yeah, it makes more sense that way, because I've seen it used for that. You know, so maybe they held to the traditional sense of what a seminar was.
Right. Huh.
Yeah.
Or it just was called that 20 years ago, and they just kept it. Exactly.
So some studies in educational psychology suggest that retention from passive listening, like lectures or motivational talks, is around 5 to 10%, while participation in discussion-based learning, so the original seminar, the OG seminar model, yields up to 50 to 70% retention.
Wow. And what was the other percentage? 5 to
5
10?
to 10%.
Great. It just like if you think about these poor kids sitting in school for 8 hours a day,
getting blasted with
much
information and not retaining hardly anything.
Huh.
Yeah.
Interesting. Yeah. At the school that I used to teach at, we implemented after COVID, when so much was online, like what they called a reverse learning environment, where instead of coming to class to learn, you came to class to discuss. So prior to class, like the week before, you would watch a couple of training videos, read books, and watch videos and stuff like that. And then you would come to class to discuss. And they found how much more it improved people's learning retention, rather than just sitting and listening to somebody talk for an hour.
That's the way it should be.
Yeah.
I think if you did that, and you also had a teacher that's available, if you're struggling with a subject, you can go to your teacher and get tutored for a bit on that subject until you get the concept, and then you go away and you study on your own. I feel like that'd be a much more helpful way to learn, because everybody can learn at their own pace.
Yep.
It's like if you want to blast through it right before class, do it. If you want to take your time, just do a little bit every day, do it. Like each person can cater to their own needs. Yeah.
That's great.
So the last fact here, there's been a rise in the guru culture, kind of like what we're talking about. So where charisma often replaces credibility, creating a fine line between motivation and manipulation.
Interesting.
Yes.
Getting pumped up, emotionally heightened.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's funny. Like I've even been to services, or even church services, honestly, where I'm like, wow, that was a really fun hour. And I leave, I'm like, I don't know that I learned anything.
Yeah. But it was
I had a great time. It was a Christian comedy show with some nice music, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which is interesting, because the concept of worship before teaching, it kind of plays into what Tony Robbins is trying to do, where you're trying to get your body into an emotion, not an emotional state, but a heightened state of sensitivity to the spirit. And then you're trying to absorb information.
Yeah.
So that information, when it comes to mind, your body's also kind of reliving the spiritual environment that you were in.
Yeah.
So I don't think what Tony Robbins I don't think he's totally crazy in what he's trying to do for people.
Right.
I think it's just not what God had planned. He's like, you're not supposed to get your body excited. You're supposed to get into a place of heightened sensitivity to me.
Right.
So that I can, I guess, help you learn in that state.
Huh. That's really interesting. Yeah, because Tony Robbins, he'll have the crowd. He has like the pump up crew where they'll come up, they're like, yeah, and everybody's like jumping around, music's blasting. Then he's behind stage. He literally bounces on a mini trampoline before he goes on stage. Like he's just, about to explode, and so everybody's pumped, and it's like, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm going to quit my job, change my life, divorce my wife. Like, I'm inspired. And then they've done interviews with people a week later. They're like, yeah, that was all. It crashed my life out because you're so pumped up.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah. No, and that's a sales tactic too. A lot of salesmen and saleswomen will bounce on trampolines before they make a call to get them excited, to get them happy.
Yeah.
And then they make the sale. Like it's actually statistically increased sales.
Interesting.
In regards to people who who try that tactic.
That's wild.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Pretty wild. So some practical advice. If you're attending a seminar or thinking about investing in one, here are a few questions to keep you grounded in reality. So question number 1, you should ask yourself, am I learning something real or just feeling inspired? Like we were talking about with Tony Robbins, emotional energy fades, but good teaching will stick. Good teaching of good values or good principles or practices you could take home, that's going to stick. Those are solid. Mm-hmm. So just make sure you're learning something real when you're going to a seminar.
I like that.
Mm-hmm. Second question, who benefits from this event? The audience or the speaker? Third question, does it challenge me to grow or does it just make me feel good temporarily? And I think we see this in Christian culture today where we have conference junkies.
Totally.
People who just go to conferences because they love the high.
Yeah.
They love the feeling afterwards. You know what I'm talking about? And so we have to ask that question, like, is this actually challenging me to grow? Mm-hmm. Or am I just going because
makes you feel good?
I want to feel good.
Yeah.
Exactly. And the fourth question I would say is, can I apply what I'm learning in my real life tomorrow? So can you take steps to apply what everybody was talking about on stage tomorrow? Or are you going to have to sign up for their next conference?
Yes,
you know what I mean?
To get the next lesson, to get the next thing unlocked.
Is it a sales funnel? So just ask those questions to yourself because seminars aren't what they used to be.
Yeah.
They've turned into conferences. So make sure you're attending a seminar.
Right.
Not a conference.
Huh.
Yeah.
If you want to, what's the difference in your mind? Why did you say that?
Seminar is supposed to be about discussing ideas.
Right, so make sure you're attending a true seminar.
Yes, a true seminar. Because that's going to be worth your money. That's 50 to 70%. What did it say? 50 to 70% retention?
Of retention of what you're learning. Yeah.
50 to 70% of retention. That's 6 times what you'll get just going to a conference.
Yeah. And the interesting thing, like we said, is I think most seminars are actually conferences nowadays,
exactly.
in disguise.
So the ones you can get that are closest to a traditional seminar, that's what you want.
Cool.
Yeah. So some closing thoughts. I like the idea of going to either a seminar or a conference with a speaker that I know has been somewhere I want to be. So it's somebody who's either made money in the way I want to make money or accomplished a physical feat that I want to accomplish. I want somebody who's actually been there, done that, that's going to talk to me either one-on-one, in a group, from the stage. I don't care. But make sure the person you're going to see has credibility in the area you're trying to grow in. I think that's my first principle on either going to a conference or a seminar because they're kind of the same thing. And the second thing I would recommend people do is read all of their literature before you go. Make sure they're not a quack. Make sure that you agree with what their values are.
Right.
First and foremost, do some research before you spend $3,000 to go to a seminar that may just make you feel good.
Right.
And do nothing else. So read the literature and make sure that person's been where you want to be. And I think you can go to all the seminars and conferences you want.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I like that.
What do you think?
I do not like seminars or conferences in the least.
I know.
I mean, partly because almost anything, you could access a YouTube video for free.
Yeah.
For the majority of, if there is somebody that you appreciate, like David Goggins or even Tony Robbins, something like that. I feel like there's so much material you can find online for free. And I just don't like sitting in a room with a bunch of people all staring at one person. I don't know. I think that I have I don't fangirl over people. I'm not easily impressed by people. Not that I don't think there's a lot to learn from others, but I don't think I'm one to go and pay money to go sit in a chair to have somebody talk to me.
I think I'm the same
thing.
way. Yeah, I think I'm the same way, but I think we might have different reasons. So what's your reason for not wanting to do that?
Well, part of it, it's physically uncomfortable for me.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
2, I'm going to spend my money on something else.
Yeah, Chick-fil-A.
I mean, yeah, it's like,
What a burger.
I don't have a bunch of disposable income, and I probably would rather just like go camping or go to a national park for a couple days and then watch the video at home.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't like hype. I don't like people hyping up a crowd. I don't like anything that smells all of manipulation or I think also I'm so aware of psychological tactics to get a crowd riled up, to, sell you on something that it's like I've become self-aware of that.
Yeah.
And so when I'm in those environments, I'm just absolutely disgusted by it. And then I don't get anything out of it, even if there's something to be gained, because in my own stubbornness, I'm like, this is all dumb. And so definitely part of it's my fault. And not to say I've been to some amazing conferences. I don't know. I've been to some seminars for sure that were true seminars where they're more discussion based, but I don't think I ever paid for it. That's don't know that I would go to Acquire the Fire conferences as a teen. I went to probably 3, and that might be the only conference I've ever paid for. It was like $80.
That's not terrible.
And that was definitely hype you out of your brain, get pumped up, kind of a thing. But I've been to some amazing conferences with like 30, 40,000 people. They were great, but I wouldn't have probably paid a couple $1,000 for it.
No way.
Yeah.
Absolutely not.
They were free, so.
Yeah. My reasoning is that I think it's along the same lines, but when it comes to public speaking or people who have a platform who I don't personally know their credentials, I haven't read any of their work, I'm just going to a conference, I don't trust that I should give them my attention just because they have a microphone and I don't. I'm very suspicious of people on a platform. And I think that comes a little bit from negative experiences with people on a platform who have really disappointed, screwed up, but also scammed a lot of people out of their money. And we're all human beings. We all have poopy butts, we all fart and poop and burp. It's like, why is this person, any better in these areas than I am, without me knowing their credentials. And so I don't like the unequal playing field that happens in my mind when I think about conferences, like elevating this person for no reason other than they're on a stage, I guess. Yeah. So a little bit naturally suspicious of those types of people.
Makes sense.
And of conferences as a whole.
Also, it's just not the way I learn. I don't know. I don't know, probably not the healthiest thing, but I would rather listen to 20 hours of that person on a podcast than go sit and listen to them for an hour. Just because I feel like at that point you truly could get something out of it by the quantity or the amount of time. Whereas if you're just kind of sitting there, I don't know, I'm just rather easily distracted, and I learn best while I'm like doing things or moving or, like me listening to a podcast while like cleaning the house. I will retain so much more than sitting in a stuffy room with a baby crying over there and these people talking there. And what the heck did he just say? Yeah. Kind of a thing going on.
Totally. I think it's almost the reason to go to a conference now would almost be for novelty, to say that you had been to see this person, because there's so much information out there about people now. Like you said, podcasts. A person probably has like 50 hours of podcasts you could just listen to, but you get to say that you went to a podcast with so-and-so, or you went to a conference with so-and-so or seminar. So I think there's probably bragging rights involved.
Especially if you're if you're on social media and you post and stuff, I could see being like, went to this conference. For sure. Here's the whole experience. Whereas us, we don't the most recent posts on my Instagram were made by you. I haven't posted anything since last Christmas. So, but I think part of it, though, not liking conferences and seminars is probably just my own pride. Of being like, I don't know. I think I can figure it out better than this person that everybody thinks great. I get annoyed at people thinking somebody's super awesome. Because I'm just so aware that we're all not awesome, and we're also awesome in different ways.
Yeah.
Some people are like, oh, I've never been let's wait in line to like get their signature or buy their new book. And I don't know. I think part of that's healthy and part of it's not. So I probably should do some deep thinking about that.
That's good though. That's
Maybe
good to
we
know.
have a seminar about it.
It's seminar about not trusting seminars.
Cool. That was a great topic. Do you have
Thank
any
you.
other like random facts or myths to bunk?
I didn't get a myth this time.
Okay.
We'll have to do a myth next time.
Cool. Well, no myth busted today.
All right.
Cool.
Myth
Not busted.
Next, we're going to go into forbidden books of the Bible.
Yes. We are going to continue our slow journey through the Book of Enoch, which we assumed would take about 10 weeks. And here we are halfway through, 6 months later.
6 months later.
Our hope is to finish up the Book of Parables, which I think is about 10, 11 more chapters by the end of the year.
Mm-hmm.
And then we'll decide if we're going to continue on into the other books of Enoch right away or tackle some other books.
Yeah.
Because after this second segment of the Book of Enoch, things kind of get a little weird and maybe not as fruitful to dig into as depth.
Mm-hmm.
But we'll see.
Yeah. Maybe we'll dig into a different extra biblical book, like the Book of Mary or something. Book of Judas.
Yes. The proto-evangelium of James is one.
God.
It's not a long word. I'm not sure what it means, that word, proto-evangelium. But it just comes to my mind because I watched Netflix put out a movie last Christmas time called Mary, the Mother of Jesus or something like that.
Yeah.
And it does not resemble the story of Mary, but it does resemble this extra forbidden book of the Bible that was written, like the lore of Mary's life.
Oh,
and so I think it'd be kind of fun as a anti-true nativity story.
Yeah, for Christmas?
Yeah.
That'd be hilarious. Oh my
What
gosh.
you should not believe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're diving into chapter 61.
Yes. I'm going to do a little recap since it's been like 3 weeks.
Yeah.
So in the previous chapters, so right now we're in the Book of Parables, and this is the third parable / vision that Enoch had. So in the previous chapters, the first part of the vision was about how darkness and wickedness are going to be destroyed and that the righteous will live in the eternal life of God forever. And then we had a interesting couple chapters that were descriptions about the weather and how God controls the weather, which was very interesting. I just was reading the book of Job this last week and was fascinated to find how much there was a couple chapters just about the weather and the chambers of heaven and the chambers of snow and hail.
Whoa.
That really lined up with the Book of Enoch. So I'm sure the writers took inspiration from the book of Job.
Huh.
I was like, okay.
Okay.
And then we had an interesting insert of a fragment from the book of Noah, where Noah described how all the hosts of heaven were disrupted at the judgment of the Lord that was going to take place. And likely this was a tie-in to like the flood narrative in Genesis.
Yeah.
But an interesting part of that chapter was the description of God creating the Leviathan and the Behemoth, also mentioned in Job.
So cool.
Which were monsters of the sea and the land that were created to eat, ... And then the rest of it.
Mood.
Yeah, I was like, what were they made to eat? So now we're going to hop back into Enoch's vision of the end of days where all the wicked will be judged. So you want to take us away with chapter 61?
Absolutely. In this chapter, Enoch sees long cords given to angels, and the angels fly towards the north with the cords. So Enoch is told that the angels will measure with these cords, and that, quote, these measures shall reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth, and those who have been destroyed by the desert, those who have been devoured by the beasts, and those who have been devoured by the fish of the sea, that they may return and stay themselves on the day of the elect one. What do you think about that?
So I did some little digging into. So yeah, these angels were going about the earth, it seems, with long cords to measure the righteous. And Enoch's like, yo, what are these cords for? And the angel said they're to measure the righteous deeds of the righteous. So kind of a weighing in the balances, are you righteous or wicked, were the measurements. Because obviously this is written not in the context of like salvation through Jesus, but written in the context of like the law And if you did not follow the law, your measurements, you were measured as wicked. But I do find it interesting that it says these measures will reveal all the secrets of the depths of the earth. And so it's kind of like nothing's going to be hidden in that day of judgment. Like all our good deeds, all of our wicked deeds. And then also the emphasis on like those who were destroyed in the desert, devoured by beasts, those who drowned in the sea, they are all going to be risen to be judged either for righteous or wicked, which really ties into earlier on in Enoch, I think it's chapter 51, says that in those days, the earth will give back its dead and Sheol and hell. So kind of the idea of all being judged, whether righteous or wicked. So it seems like these angels are being sent forth to like measure those who have all been brought up from the grave. Are you righteous or are you wicked?
Yeah. Super interesting. Like you said, he's going to judge all the works of the holy above heaven, and the ones who were devoured by beasts, the fish of the sea, and died in the desert. And it says here, he shall lift up his countenance to judge their secret ways.
Yeah.
So kind of like in Revelation, like all will be revealed.
Yes, exactly.
Chapter 62.
Oh, all right.
Oh, did you have more?
Well,
61?
yes, there was a really interesting point at the end of 61. It says that all who dwell in heaven, so those who are already righteous in heaven, received a command to bless and extol the Lord. And it says at this time, the Lord placed the elect one on the throne. And it says the elect one will judge all the works of the holy above the earth, and in the balance all their deeds will be weighed. So we see this picture of the Lord placing this elect one, this Son of Man, this messianic figure that we've been talking about through this whole book of parables on the throne. So I just think it's really cool how the righteous, with one voice, it says, bless and worship the Lord. And then the Lord places the elect one on the throne. And it says that the elect one is the one who judges the secret ways. Mm-hmm. So it's not even the Lord, but that the elect one, the Son of Man, is the one who brings forth the judgment.
Yeah. It's interesting. In chapter 62, it says that again. It says, describes how the Lord will seat the elect one upon the, quote, throne of his glory, and the word of his mouth will slay the sinners, which I thought correlated with Revelation 19, verse 15, where it says, coming out of his mouth is a sharp sword, which will strike down the nations. He will rule them with an iron scepter. He treads the winepress of the fury of the wrath of the God Almighty. So at the beginning, I guess is the only part I'm highlighting, but the mouth, coming out of his mouth as a sharp sword, correlates with the word of his mouth will slay the sinners.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Thought it was really cool. Yeah. So as we hop into chapter 62, chapter 61 is talking about like the righteous being judged, and that the elect one, the Son of Man, judges them.
Right.
And then chapter 62 is talking about the wicked, it seems, being judged.
Yeah. You need context for that.
Oh, no. Yeah. I was just adding that in.
That's great.
Because
Good
we're
context.
like, he has slain all the righteous with his mouth.
Right.
So in chapter 62, it says, the Lord commanded the kings and the mighty and the exalted ones of the earth, open your eyes and lift up your strength so that you can recognize the elect one. And it said that the Lord of spirits seated the elect one on the throne and poured the spirit of righteousness upon him. And from that point, from his mouth, he slayed all the sinners. So I just think that's really cool how the Lord is telling the kings of the earth, like, open your eyes, look up and recognize the elect one, and that the spirit of righteousness was poured upon him. Which spirit of righteousness is that he was anointed with the spirit of righteousness, which Jesus Christ means anointed one. So kind of an interesting tie in there.
Super cool.
Yeah. Continue on. It says that in that day of judgment, all the kings and the mighty ones of the earth will see and recognize he who sits on the throne of glory. And that great pain will come upon them, just like a woman in travail, and they'll be terrified. And it says here that the Son of Man is the one seated on the throne.
Yeah.
So it's tying together that the elect one, this messianic figure, is the Son of Man.
Is the Son of Man.
Yeah.
on the throne of glory. Yeah, they shall be terrified and shall be downcast of countenance, and pain shall seize them. It says that the kings and the mighty of the earth will fall down and worship him, petitioning the Son of Man. This is super interesting. They petition the Son of Man and supplicate for mercy at his hands. But it says, nevertheless, he delivers them to his angels to be punished for oppressing his children and his elect. So the angels are actually the ones punishing the wicked.
Yeah.
The kings and the mighty of the earth. I got that from this chapter specifically because in previous chapters it talked about how the watchers, the evil watchers, would be punished by the angels.
Yeah.
But I didn't think that the souls on earth at the end of time would be punished by angels in heaven that are good. Their job is to punish.
Right.
Which is just a crazy thought.
It is. And tying that into like the book of Revelation, all like the bowls and the seals and the judgments, they're mainly all released by angels that release like hail upon the earth or pestilence or bring forth judgment. So it's kind of interesting. So it's saying here that both the Son of Man from the words of his mouth will slay the wicked and he will release angels.
Yeah.
One part that I really liked was in chapter 62, verse 6. It says that the kings and the mighty of the earth will bless and glorify the Son of Man. And it says, who was previously hidden. And said that from the beginning, the Son of Man was hidden, and the Most High preserved him in his presence and then revealed him so that all will bow down and worship him. So it's just kind of cool, this idea of the Son of Man being hidden by the Lord and then released as the Son of Righteousness. It kind of reminds me of like John 1:1, where in the beginning was the Word, and the Word was with God, and the Word was God. So just this idea that the Son of Man has been from the beginning, it says, with the Lord. And then he is revealed.
He's revealed
to all on
end.
earth.
It's pretty wild. It also plays into that we have to search out who Jesus is. You know, it's not something that is, yes, it is something that will, I think, ultimately be shown to you because like God says, or like the word says, like all will see, all will hear of the goodness of God. And I think that's part of reaching all the nations. So there will be no excuse for someone not knowing the Lord.
Yeah.
They will have heard of him, but it was their part to search him out. And like right here, he's being fully revealed by the Lord. He's being like, okay, here he is. If you didn't search him out, that's on you.
Yeah, it says all
Here
the
he
kings
is.
and all those on earth will see him.
Yeah.
And recognize him.
As the Son of Man.
Yeah. So it's kind of, I think it's in Revelation that every eye will see him, even those who pierced him, so that all will see in that day.
Yeah. It goes on to say, then, the righteous and the elect shall have risen from the earth and cease to be of downcast countenance, which is interesting because it says earlier that the mighty and the kings of the earth will have a downcast countenance.
But the righteous, they will look up.
They'll cease to have that, and they'll be clothed with garments of glory. So really happy ending.
Yeah.
To the end of this chapter.
That's cool. It says the Lord will abide over them and the Son of Man will dwell with him, that he will eat with them and lie down and rise up. So kind of even emphasizing like his humanity.
Yeah.
But yeah, I like that the righteous will be clothed in garments of glory that will never grow old.
Yeah.
Beautiful.
So chapter 63, unless you have more on 62.
No, that's great.
Chapter 63, this chapter outlines how the kings and the mighty of the earth plead to be released from the darkness and their punishment from the Lord's angels. This chapter was heartbreaking to read.
It's really,
It really is. The whole thing is about the petition of the kings and the mighty trying to get out from darkness. It's like, Lord, like, let us come out and worship you because we can't see, like, we can't know you fully in this darkness. And then at the end of the chapter, it says, their faces shall be filled with darkness and shame before the Son of Man, and they shall be driven from his presence, and the sword shall abide before his face in their midst. Again, with the sword terminology.
Yes.
Do you think that's the word?
I don't know. I mean, I think it could be a tie-in to, I think in the picture of here, it is an actual sword. And then we're thinking of knowing the book of Revelation where like the sword comes from his mouth, that it is spoken, but it could also be a physical sword.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's mentioned multiple times that from his mouth will proceed a sword, that the sword will be covered in blood of the wicked.
Yeah.
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 So crazy chapter.
Yeah, so it's really crazy because, like, as you said, the kings, they've been told to repent throughout these chapters. And then finally they see the Son of Man seated on the throne and they realize who he is and that they have been killing his children and the righteous. And I really like, though, that because they're begging kind of for like freedom from punishment. But at the end they say, that we did not believe him or glorify his name, but our hope was in our own strength of our own kingdoms and our glory. And that his judgments are righteous, that they are just, and all that he does is true, and he's not a respecter of persons. So it says all of our sins are reckoned with righteousness. So they realize like that even his judgments upon seeing him are righteous, that they are wicked, and that they will bear the burden of Sheol.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Heavy last chapter.
It is.
I mean, it's not the last chapter of the book, but heavy chapter to end this with. But that's what you get, folks, in the Book of Enoch. Something to look forward to.
But the last verse of that chapter is, and then the Lord spoke, this is the ordinance and judgment and respect to the mighty and the kings and the exalted and those who possess the earth before the Lord. So kind of this is the final judgment.
Yeah. This is it.
Yeah.
Pretty crazy.
Pretty wild. Yeah. I really liked these chapters. Just obviously, like, we're not explaining this, as we mentioned before, in the belief that it is like authoritative scripture or anything like that. But I do find it so fascinating, the ties in or the revelation that these writers seemingly had prior to Jesus, prior to the writing of Book of Revelation, prior to the idea that the elect, when the Son of Man came from God, that was God from the beginning, was hidden. And so much of these like end time judgments that are just like pretty well laid out in the Book of Revelation.
Yeah.
Obviously Old Testament passages too that I'm sure they pulled from, but some pretty cool stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah. Nice. Well, next time we'll hop into chapters 24 through, I think,
24.
Sorry, 64 through, I think, 68.
Okay.
And then, yeah, and that'll be another fragment of the Book of Noah. And then we'll kind of be wrapping it up in the next one. So it'll be good.
I can't wait for that next fragment of Noah to just confuse the pants out of me.
I know. I'm like, I don't know why they added this in here. Just
I like the behemoth and the Leviathan
but I'm like, it just was right in the middle of everything else going on.
Right.
Yeah.
Something to look forward to.
Very cool. Well, do you have anything to leave us with? Any recommendations for our listeners?
Let's see. Recommendations for our listeners. Oh my gosh. Yes.
Okay.
The recommendation of all recommendations.
Great.
Cancel all of your subscription plans to TV show places.
Hulu,
Netflix,
Peacock.
Prime, whatever. And just buy one without ads. Because we had Peacock with ads for like a year.
Yeah, we got it for $20 for the whole year.
For a year.
Yeah.
A year.
Yes.
Of our lives.
We did not watch anything on Peacock until last month when you got into a whole let's watch the whole Office. Okay.
Yeah, the super fan episodes.
Yeah.
And I've probably wasted 17 hours of my life watching ads. And I'll never get that back. And I'm so frustrated at myself that it took us this long to just be like, you know what? We're just going to cancel some other stuff. And we're just going to get no ads on Peacock and Apple TV. And so that's where we're at. And it's amazing. We've been experiencing it the last 2 days. I keep waiting for an ad to pop up. And then where I know one should pop up, like around the 10-minute mark. Yeah. I'm just so ecstatic that I'm just wasting my time watching TV, not TV ads. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
So my recommend is just get rid of the ads, guys. It's not worth it.
I love
At the end of your life, you're not going to look back and be like, oh, you know what? I want to see that Charmin Ultra ad one more time. I want to see those bears wipe their booties. No. So get rid of the ads. That's what I recommend. What about you?
Love it. I think I kind of recommended tying into our last episode talking about the ultra marathons. But if you're working out or like running consistently, like break in your new pair of running shoes, like progressively. Like I got a new pair of running shoes and then went for an 8-mile run and like screwed up my knees and they still hurt a month later. So even if they're the same type of shoes you were already wearing, your body does get adapted to how your shoes are wearing. So if you buy a new pair of running shoes, you know, wear them around the house, wear them around town a little bit, and then go for a little jog instead of like brand new, off we go. Yeah. So you could actually injure yourself.
For sure. Yeah. I had another friend who just did the same thing too.
No way.
Yeah. He got a new pair of running shoes and then went for like a 3-mile run, did a little 5K and hurt his knee. Yeah. Like straight up screwed it up.
It's crazy how fragile our knees are.
Yeah. You'd think new shoes.
Right. You're like new shoes are going to help him. But yeah. Your body gets used to what it gets used to. So breaking those shoes.
Breaking those shoes, girl.
Yeah. Cool.
Right on.
All right.
So at the end of these things, we like to tell people about what we do. Christina, you tell one thing and I'll tell another thing and then we'll go back and forth.
All right. Well, we have a media company called Moodwave Media, where we showcase churches and nonprofit ministries in the Kansas City area and beyond. So if you would like to have a free video filmed for your ministry, you can reach out at moodwavemedia@gmail.com or find us on Instagram.
Great plug. Christina is on Instagram at See Joyfully. I'm on Instagram at Caleb C Media. I do photography, videography, editing, whatever you need. I also write music. That's on all platforms under Caleb Castaneda. Recently, I've been writing a bit of a score.
And it's very nice.
So Christina likes it, and maybe you will too. So look out for that in the future. Next, you got this?
I don't know what else we have to say.
We're on a podcast that needs to be.
This is our podcast.
You can contact us with questions or topics you'd like us to discuss at
Stuff That We Like Podcast
at gmail.com,
as well as on Instagram, Stuff That We Like Podcast.
Right on. You can DM us or just check out what we have on there. We have tons of content now. Yes. I've been looking back over our content. We have like
100 plus videos.
100, plus videos. So we're going on at the end of this year and maybe into January, we will hit like 100 hours of content on the web. So
it's pretty cool.
Yeah, if you want to learn a bunch of random facts about a random stuff.
And if you have suggestions on topics we should do, we're also going to do a listener question episode coming up shortly. Yeah. So we'll post something on Instagram where you can comment some questions or email us. Yeah. At Stuff That We Like podcast@gmail.com.
For sure. There we go. That's all our plugs for today. Thanks for joining us. I'm Caleb.
And I'm Christina. And this has been Stuff That We Like /Enjoy. We'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.